Hey guys, I'm Ann Skinner and this is Molly McGee. We're the Skinner team with Keller Williams Realty here in beautiful Summit County, Colorado. We're here today just to give you a little bit more information about what's going on in the Summit County real estate market. We're such a unique market up here that really the statistics that you get from the state and from the country just don't particularly apply to our market. So we're going to share a little bit about specifically what's going on here in Summit County. We'll be going over what's been happening in September 2017, and those areas in Summit County that we're going to be including are going to be Dillon, Frisco, Breckenridge, Keystone, Silverthorne, Copper Mountain, and Blue River.
We're going to get all of these statistics from the Summit County MLS, the Multiple Listing Service. If you don't already know this, Summit County has their own Board of Realtors and MLS. We're not actually part of the RE Colorado MLS, which is what a lot of the Front Range uses now. But because we are not in that statewide system, it's really important that you get a local expert realtor who's got all of the most accurate information from the MLS and the most up-to-date. Our market moves very quickly here.
So to kind of start off, the Summit County market has been really heating up over the last couple of years. We've had low inventory and we've seen some pretty massive price gains. In September, we had 176 new properties hit the market. That's down a little bit from previous months, and that's mostly due to our normal seasonal fluctuations. With the ski season, it tends to be that we see things slowing down just a little bit going into winter. However, despite the lower listings hitting the market, our actual average price has gone up about 11% from last year.
Nice. That's nice. September is historically one of the highest sales months for us, and where that comes from, even though we're not getting a lot of new inventory this time of year, all of the new inventory that was sold that came on in June, July, and August, those deals are now closing. So we actually had 205 sales close in September 2017, which is a pretty good year for us.
And as we kind of mentioned, with the lower inventory, that has driven the prices up. So our price this year for the average of September was $670,870. That's up quite a bit from 2016. It's actually up 11%. Our last year at 2016 in September was hovering right around about $600,000. In addition, properties are selling really for 98 to 99% of the list price, and they're only staying on the market for about 30 days. Normally in a balanced market, we'd see properties stay on the market upwards of 90 to 120 days, and nationwide, the average right now is about 90 days, so you can see things are moving a bit faster here in Summit County. One of the biggest segments that we've seen this month in September 2017 was the $500,000 to $1 million price point. That actually comprised 45% of the sales for September. Of that amount, 35% of the properties in that price range sold for at or above list price, which is quite substantial. Really in that price range too, single family homes were kind of the standout. They actually sold or comprised about 50% of the total homes in that price bracket.
Wow. So one of the big contributing factors to all of this great prosperity that we see up here is actually Colorado's economic prosperity. A lot of the households are doing better, leading to a little bit more disposable income. That disposable income really drives the second home market. As a matter of fact, 75% of sales were second homes.
So as I kind of mentioned previously, we've seen about a maximum of 2 months of inventory on the market at any given time. And again, about 6 months of inventory is normal. So Molly and I were just kind of chatting about how we come up with that figure. Where that figure basically comes from is you take the number of properties that are active on the market at any given time, which this year has been floating right around about 400, 450, divided by the number of sales in a given month. So we had about 205 sales. That leads us to just have about 2 months of inventory on the market. A normal balanced market is really about 6 months of inventory. That means that we're really in a seller's market right now.
With the number of buyers that want to be up here, we only have enough inventory to serve that interested group for about 2 months. So we will need to see a couple more homes come onto the market before it becomes a buyer's market. This all leads to some pretty remarkable gains in property values year over year. In the last few years, it's been in the range of 10 to 25%. A stable market actually usually sees only between 3 and 5% growth, so you can see that we are not in what's called a stable market at the moment. And a lot of this has to do with Summit County, just where we are. We are relatively built out, and we are geographically surrounded by a lot of mountainous peaks, as well as Forest Service land and land that won't ever be built on. And so it does something to always hold our property values high here in Colorado, especially in Summit County.
Now, one of the kind of unique things we've seen a little bit this month is that we have seen more price drops this month than we have in past years. Now, that's mainly, again, due to our normal seasonal fluctuality, but, there are some looming interest rate hikes out there, so that combined with, just the way that the market's headed, we might start to see some stability over the next couple of years.
And Anne brings up interest rates, and that's a really important thing to think about. As interest rates rise, you want to remember that your borrowing power will be decreased, and therefore your buying power. So if you are a buyer, don't expect to see giant value increases. While you might start to see a little less dramatic increase, you're still going to see gains happen year over year. So something that might cost about $400,000 this year might be closer to $425,000 next year. And again, with those interest rate hikes, that's going to become a much more expensive situation the longer you wait.
Now, from a seller's perspective, one of the things we always get asked is, when's the best time to sell? The bottom line is, it's impossible to time the market. We know that our market, just based on our geography and everything, is going to continue to go up. So really, the best time to sell is when you're ready and when you feel comfortable to sell. So keep that in mind as you're thinking about your real estate needs here in Summit County.
As always, we're the Skinner team. We're here to help, and we love to do it. So please consider us your Colorado Mountain Realty specialist and call us anytime.
I'm Anne again, and I can be reached at 970-389-6987.
And I'm Molly. My number is 970-308-3217. We really look forward to hearing from you.
Thanks so much, guys.